Hi everyone. So for my final paper, I decided to look at a company called VaynerMedia. Now, some of you may have heard of VaynerMedia, or the name might ring a bell. And if it does, that is because likely you've heard of Instagram star, social media guru, Gary V. Now, Gary Vaynerchuk is a 45-year-old. He was born in former Soviet Union, now Belarus. He immigrated to the United States, where he grew up in Queens for a good chunk of his childhood until his family moved to Hunterdon County, New Jersey, where he attended North Hunterdon Regional High School. Funny enough, that is exactly where I'm from, one town over on the school. So I thought it would be interesting to look at somebody who comes from an immigrant family, such as myself, as well as to look at someone who really has been a trendsetter in the social media space. Now, Gary V is known for his personality, his social media presence, but what a lot of people don't actually realize is that he has built several successful companies, one of which being VaynerMedia. He essentially has a company, VaynerX, which is the LLP overarching umbrella under which he has 8 subsidiary businesses, which include VaynerMedia. Now, VaynerMedia, Gary grew in only 4 years from a $3 million to a $60 million company. He has such a presence himself that he was able to use that and actually translate it into this media company that specializes in Fortune 500 social media content. Now, Vayner is not like your average social media company, and that's why it was really interesting to look at it. They not only create concepts for content, but they actually create the content themselves. For example, they have clients like Pepsi, Hulu, Chase Bank, Budweiser. They even helped Planters Peanuts, a little yellow peanut guy you may have seen with the little top hat, helped create their Super Bowl commercial in 2019. So they not only can really produce a creative directive in order to produce cutting-edge content across a wide variety of social media platforms, he also can execute that production with his team. So he and his team at VaynerMedia are really a full in-house staff. And again, they cater more to Fortune 500 companies. They really have such a pull in the industry. And when I was going through and researching all of the different ads and all of the different media that they have produced in their short time since being founded in 2009, some of those content stories even that they've created and narratives have been ones that I recognize, that are on TV, that I see on my social media. And VaynerMedia, not only with curating content and executing content, they actually are innovative in the way that they are the ones purchasing ad space. So similar to how a business would purchase 30 seconds on air on the radio back, in the 60s and 70s and 80s, or you purchase a time slot for the Super Bowl, Gary and his team at VaynerMedia are actually the ones who are purchasing slots on social media. So when you get those targeted ads, or you get those scrolling ads on your Explore page on Instagram, or on your For You page on TikTok, they are actually purchasing that slot and are able to distribute their media. And what Gary is really known for is being ahead of the curve, knowing what's next. So for instance, I know a lot of people in their 20s and 30s jumped on the TikTok bandwagon when it came to quarantine at the beginning of the pandemic. Gary had already been on TikTok for years. I'm talking like 2-3 years. And knew that that was going to be the next big platform. It was going to take off. He had already been working with some of his large clients to implement marketing and social media strategies to get ahead of the curve. He is truly a pioneer in that industry, and being able to be ahead of that cusp, both in the content that he's putting out, but where he is putting it out. Even now, not only focusing on TikTok, but he's focusing on platforms like Twitch, which appeals to the younger Gen Z crowd, which is a game, essentially like a gaming, streaming, live stream gaming site, if you will, for lack of a longer explanation. But Gary, he really is focused on what's next. And that's what sets him apart from his competitors, because there are others in his industry that offer, you know, full source social media marketing, campaign management, brand management, etc. But the backing that comes with Gary himself and what he's known for, that being on that cutting edge, is truly what gets him those big names like Pepsi, gets him those big names like Hulu, and gets him those clients right out of the gate. You know, within his first 5 years of launch, he has these industry titans that are backing him and clearly have been, since the jump, supporting his content. So VaynerMedia really has been quite successful in its short time, again founded in 2009, and with Gary as the front man running the show, he's been able to take what he's done at VaynerMedia with some of these Fortune 500 companies and break down into subsidiaries such as the Sasha Group, which essentially does the same thing as VaynerMedia. However, they focus on small business companies rather than Fortune 500. So the American dream is what Gary Vee and his team at VaynerMedia and at VaynerX Holdings and its subsidiaries are building. And truly, they are leading the way in innovation, you know, consumer interaction by diversifying on a multitude of platforms. So I think he's one to look out for, and if you haven't heard of him, he is definitely one to check out at Gary V on Instagram, and you'll see you'll become one of his almost 10 million subscribers. So it goes to show you what a reach he has on just a single platform himself. Not to mention, you know, the full support of VaynerX and VaynerMedia. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for your time. It has been lovely to get to know you throughout the semester, and you all be well. Take care.